Welcome. I'm so thrilled that you pushed play. This is gonna be a power yoga class where the focus is sensing your body. And why? Because we are a lot in our thinking brain, maybe at work trying to plan and organize. Maybe we're also a lot of our emotional feeling brain, feeling glad or happy or angry or sad, whatever we feel. Sensing the body, trying to notice what's going on down there in this body can help us gain new perspectives on our thinking brain, our feeling brain. So I think a lot of us benefit from just kind of looking down and sensing all of this. And that's what we're going to do. Find a seat and even bring a block if you have. It's going to be cool. Find that seat that makes sense. Spending just a moment breathing in. If you can, we want to try to breathe in through the nose. If there's anything in your emotions you need to shake off or sigh out, you can do that. And then we're going to do a breathing exercise. I'll talk you through it and then we'll do it 3 times. Just keep your eyes closed. So breathe in 3 times, breathing in, holding that breath that we inhaled and then adding more the second time and completely filling our lungs on the 3rd inhale. Hold the breath and then exhale slowly through the mouth and then breathe normally a few times before we do it again. So let's try that. So first, a sip of air. Hold your breath. Inhale 2nd time. Hold your breath. Inhale 3rd time, filling your lungs. Soften your shoulders and then hold your breath. Open your mouth and exhale. And really exhaling until you empty out completely your lungs. And then breathe a few times. Let's do it again. First sip of breath. Inhale. Hold your breath. 2nd inhale. Hold your breath. 3rd inhale. Fill up the lungs like they can't have any more air in and hold your breath, trying to relax your body. Exhale. Emptying out the lungs completely. Now you know the exercise. Gonna do it one last time. And just try to feel your lungs if you can. Trying to picture them filling up with air and how it feels to expand your lungs and trying to relax with all that breath inside of you, and then how it feels to empty out everything on that exhale. First inhale. Hold your breath. 2nd inhale. Hold your breath. 3rd inhale. Hold your breath. How does it feel? Can you relax? Exhale out. Keep exhaling. And a bit more. How does that feel? And maybe take a few just deep breaths as you normally would. Hopefully this exercise helps you breathe more deeply as we go through the different postures and movements. Now just bring your block here to the side. Downward facing dog. If you need a little bit of movement in your wrist before that, you can always start in your tabletop. If you're good, find downward facing dog and do a dynamic one. Walking your feet, softening your arms, maybe move from plank to down dog. And let's do a few vinyasas. Let's try to go on the knees for 3 of these vinyasa flows. Move into plank. Come down on your knees. Before you move down, engage the core, so navel in. Take the shoulders slightly back and hug them in towards the girdle there. Elbows by your side and lower down, taking your good time. And don't come all the way down on the floor before you lift up on your knees, going into a version of up dog. Don't overdo this with your back. Engage the core, lift like you're feeling your abdomen. It's kind of lifting your hip up and back. Tuck the toes if you haven't already and find down dog. Let's do that again, maybe the same pace, kind of slow. Going to plank. Knees down, maybe gaze forward and taking the chin a little bit in and move the back of the head forward. Or back up towards the sky, actually. Elbows by the ribs and slowly lower down, resisting gravity. Lifting up when you're maybe just 1/3 down, that's fine. Using your core, going back into down dog. If you need a little shake in your wrists, go ahead and do so. Now, the cool thing about doing a vinyasa flow, not coming all the way down the chest, is you get less strain on the shoulder. And in my body right now, that's what I need. Last time, knees down, elbows in, gazing forward. Try to feel how you're hugging the shoulder girdle in, lowering down. Lift through the palms of the hands there and move back into down dog. Walking your feet to the top end of the mat, and maybe you shake out things you need to shake out. Sway from side to side. Chair pose. Soften your knees and get into a chair pose. Now I want you to focus on your pelvis and that position of the pelvis. So please take your hands down by your side here. And try to go for a ducktail. So move your hip back. You might even shake it a little bit. So if you have that rounding in your spine, I am not super good at that, which is fine actually. And then going the opposite way, keep holding onto your hip, rounding the spine so that you take the pelvis underneath yourself, kind of a curved chair pose. Try to move from these positions a few times. Maybe not go to the full extent if you are really good at doing those shapes here. Can you feel what engages as you move from one of these movements to the next? So the abdomen, the six-pack will pull us in that kind of rounded shape. And the rectus spinae, the big muscles here at the back, kind of help us pull back. So let's just find chair pose. If your thighs are like killing you, you might shake it out. But find that middle part of the position of the pelvis where you feel like your spine is straight. Stay for 3, 2, 1. And then lift up. Take your fingers behind your head. Kind of soften the back of the head into your arms as you lean back. And this time, move the pelvis forward. And straighten your spine. Hands down by your side. Take the left leg and put it back, warrior 2. And this is a kind of a power class, so we want to go wide and deep. And maybe you want to bring the block with you. You can do this without, but try. Take it on the long side in between your palms. Make sure your shoulders are over your hip bones there. Gaze towards the front knee, not falling in, dropping in, especially when you're going really wide. You don't want that knee to drop in. Okay, push in on this block. Move the arms up overhead and take the elbows pointing forward, and then keep pushing on the block. Take your hands behind you for a little bit of a tricep. Keep pushing, reach the arms up overhead, and take those elbows somewhat shoulder width distance down here in front of you. Let's do that again, but extend the front leg as we lift up. So extend the front leg as you reach the arms up overhead. Keep pushing in. Keep the elbows where they are, but bend them. Bend the front knee if you can. Lots of things going on here. Again, extend the front leg as you reach the arms up overhead. Whew. Bending the front knee again as you bring the arms down. One last time. Try it again. Push in. Keep the elbows in. Reach up. Extend the front leg. Bending the elbows, bending the front leg in the direction of the pinky toe. Again, lift up. And in front, bending. All right, keep the block, but pivot that front foot. Just stand wherever it makes sense for you to see the screen and without gliding. So we're going to incorporate the sides here a lot. So take the navel in and maybe just go from side to side like this. Is this okay? No impingement, no pain. If that's okay, reach the arms up overhead. Lean towards the right side, for example. Lift up and bring the arms back. You don't need to push on the block for now. Just use it to stabilize. Now, there's different variations. Now, let's try to push the arms up overhead. Go to the side. If it's too much with the arms overhead, just bring them by your side. Lift up and then take them down. Up overhead to the left. Gaze the core. And try to notice, you can close your eyes if you can keep balancing. Do it one more time to each side. Notice what's going on the side of your body, the core, underneath the bottom of the ribs. It's the QLs that is elongating as we're moving towards the left side. It's the right side and shortening, lifting us up along with other things as we move down again. Now, either just shift leg step to the front and take your right leg to the front, or turn on your mat. If you're good, you know what to do. We're gonna do that warrior two again with the block. So elbows in, reach up. First time through, we'll keep the leg bended just to get the arms in the right spot. And try to move slow. All right. Push through the front foot. Reach up, bending the elbows, bending the front leg. Going deep. Reach up, keep pushing in on that block. We tend to stop doing that at some point. Bending the knee, taking your hands down. Just take a look at the front knee. Is it still keeping track over the ankle? One last time. Noticing that your shoulders are still aligned with your legs. Awesome. Then you can turn on the mat so that you best can watch the screen. Step it back, down dog. So before we move on to the next little sequence, how are your body doing?
Notice if you take the tailbone, kind of move it back. What I told you not to do in chair pose, like that duck tail. Try to take a huge duck tail in your down dog. Can you feel how that kind of exaggerates the stretch on the hamstrings, the back? And if you kind of round the spine, it lags off a little bit, it kind of softens. That's because the hamstrings are attaching to the area of the sitting bone. And when you move the sitting bone away from the knees where they also attach, you will stretch them. All right, moving into plank. And come down on your knees. If you're on a harder surface, just fold the mat for the sake of your knees. Bring the left leg back. Kind of kick it out to the side. Push the hands down, navel in. And then bend the left knee. Draw the knee out to the side. Open up the hip and notice if the right thigh stays somewhat put or if you kind of move it out to the side. Keep the front of the standing knee and hips somewhat stacked. Lift the left bended knee towards the sky as you pull it to the front. Where you're gonna get this left foot to the top of the mat eventually. Feel how everything turns on in your hips, your glutes. Gonna turn the foot and maybe just make way as you lift the left hand up. Eventually get the foot down. It's harder than it looks. Ooh, left foot at the front. Right knee stays down on the mat. Reach up into high lunge. Bring your palms in front of you, twisting. And again, noticing our core and everything. You can stay hovering and just don't go further down. Or if you want to take the right elbow on the outside of the knee, do that. Push the elbow into the knee and the knee into the elbow, and maybe feel like that top shoulder kind of pushes more up and back. If you want to, tuck the toes under and slowly lift the back heel or the knee off to find this twist. Lower down the knee again, softly and gently. Release and slowly come back. Don't be quick on twisting here. And let's go for the other side. You can take the block, put it under your left hand, either in the inside of the foot or the outside, and kind of open up an open twist somewhat. And release. Downward facing dog. And as you get into your down dog, or if you feel it in your wrist, you can actually just do your dolphin pose. Notice the left from the right side of your body. Maybe you feel different. Come down on your knees again. Fold the mat if you like. First tabletop. Right leg up and back, bending the knees. And just set ourselves up to as much success as possible. So navel in, ground through the hands, through that knee. Left knee, open up the hip. Lift it up as high as you can. You feel your glute meet the side of the thigh there. Kick in. And everything helping you to move the bended knee to the elbow first. And when it's somewhat there, keep tracking left knee and hip. You take the shin, the foot, turn it down. The hip gets involved. Remember to breathe. Remove your right fingers and put the hand down there. How much fun is that? I remember the first couple of times I did this, it was impossible. I thought that's never going to happen. But you get better. I am still not getting it, but I'm better. And that's the cool thing about really sensing what's going on and helping your body with that input. Because our mind, your spine, your brain needs that input from your body. You're not just a brain. If there's no input coming here, if you're not paying attention, the mind can kind of make up inputs, and that's not always beneficial. Twisting. Opposite time, side, left elbow down on the right thigh, and as we did before, you might push the elbow into the thigh, thumb in towards the chest. Notice if you have your shoulders towards the ears, you can bring them down. Take the back foot there if you want to. You can lift off. Feel that extra tension and the weight bearing in your legs. Slowly bending left knee back again and moving out of the twist slow. I feel my front hamstring, my thighs really doing something. Incorporate the block and open up just to get a bit of another direction. All right, bring it down, back, and then step to the top end of the mat, and let's just shake things out here. And a little bit of balancing. So mountain pose. Tree pose. And really notice how the hip here, or the glutes engage. So if you take it can be your left hand this time, and kind of push in the bullseyes of that glute. And then you take your left foot, try just to relax, but then bring your left leg, bend it and draw it out to the side in the direction of we do in tree pose. Maybe, and if you take it back, you feel something happening in that back there, how it really engages. And that's what we want to do when we do tree pose, either with the feet down or take the foot, the heel to the inner thigh. And then again, squeeze the buttocks in, take the knee out. So you kind of open your hip and maybe you draw your hands out to the side. We're going to challenge the glutes some more. So either stay here or see if you can kind of hold the position you did before without taking the knee to the inner thigh. Let the knee and the heel and the inner thigh kind of hover. Doesn't have to be perfect, just trying. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. You can take your hand here. How often are we holding ourselves here at the back? But it's good. It's all good. Noticing. So there are parts of the hip that turns on, or the glute that turns on when you move the knee out. All right. We want to really get that going when we take the foot up. Now, because we push the heel in to the thigh, you also feel the opposite side. But we don't want this just to relax. So squeeze in, keep the knee out. Feel that engagement. And let's try that fun one. Maybe fun. Hovering. Ooh. Staying for 4, 3, 2, and 1.
all variations of this is super. Inhale, reach your arms up, folding forward at the top of the mat. Half moon, last posture. Right leg up. Pivot the foot. Right arm reaches up overhead. And I'm incorporating my block because I like that. And let's try to challenge our balance. Again, the same glutes are engaged here to lift the hip up. But with the balance, you get more of the standing leg involved. So we're going to try to challenge the balance with moving our arms. So try to hover. Keep the shoulders stacked. Bring your hands into a version of prayer pose. And it's good if you're kind of wobbly. Good if you need some extra support with your hands down. Just try, breathe. I'm not asking for perfect. Normally I would stand still in half moon. And when you're done, fingers down and mountain pose. Lift your arms up overhead and fold forward, opposite side. Left leg up, left hand up. And first, before you start moving, you kind of try to balance yourself. Keep the eyes on the floor. Move your hand into a prayer pose. Woo. Just try to think about how much your body is learning as you are trying to do this. Your body is so challenged. Sensing all sorts of things here. Whew. Breathe. Fingers down, lower down the left foot, the back of the mat. Let's take a pause in figure 8 or wide-legged forward fold. Kind of finish with a headstand if you like it. I'm always saying that everybody can do a variation of headstand. So just get your head down like this, and then you are in a variation of headstand. So please do so. If you want to do this that I'm showing you now, please find a wall if you are a little bit wobbly. Fold your mat, and then grasp the hands, kind of hug in on the back of your head. And we don't want our elbows out like this. We want to kind of have a tri-shaped angle. So the elbows are somewhat shoulder width distance as you come down. Crown of the head down. And you can stay with your feet on the floor or slowly see if you can rise up. Of course, you want to keep your eyes open for easier balance. Breathe. Lots of input here. And notice how your face might grow red. Then trying to ease out of it slowly. Maybe one leg at the time, kind of doing a split. And when you come down, child's pose, I'll advise you to bring your hands down by your side. And you can have neck release by rolling your head from left to side, right side here. Take a breath where you feel like your belly moves into the thighs. And then take a seat. If you want to stretch a bit, maybe you know a few that you really like. But we're just gonna finish with 3 deep breaths. So sit as comfortable as you can, maybe on your block. Close your eyes. And then 3 deep breaths in and out through your nose. And then I'll invite you to again notice your legs, your thighs, your stomach, the stomach. Maybe you can breathe more freely. Shoulders and face. Yeah. If you want to meditate or pray or anything like that, you're welcome to do that now. Maybe you feel like there's more quietness in that thinking, feeling mind. I hope so. I hope you had fun traveling with me on this sensing journey. And let me know if you want more videos like this. Have a wonderful and blessed day.